Welcome back to the CryptoWorld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, both Bitcoin and Ethereum have just broken below an important short-term support level, and this is happening while the FTX hacker is dumping millions of dollars worth of Ethereum onto the market to actually buy Bitcoin. And so I'll be talking more about that later in the video. Definitely stick around. First of all, just quickly letting you know that on the daily Bitcoin chart, nothing much has changed over the last few days. So once again, if you're new to the channel, as always, check out my last few videos on this channel if you want to know more about this chart right here. And the same can be said about the weekly Bitcoin chart. Obviously, not much has changed since my last video. We still have this 50% retracement level acting as support on the weekly time frame, sitting at around 16.3K. And we also have a potential bullish divergence forming right now on the weekly Bitcoin chart between the price action and the RSI, obviously. But technically, this still needs to be confirmed as of recording this video because we still need to see at least a green weekly candle close. And by the way, this next weekly candle close is coming up in just a few hours from now at the time of recording this video. But anyway, moving into the short term, looking at the 2-hour Bitcoin chart, over the last one day, we have seen a break to the downside below this ascending line of support, which is only just a short-term support level, so it's not like a significant break to the downside on the weekly chart, for example. But technically speaking, this is a bit of a bearish signal, at least just in the short term, telling us that we could be due to see a little bit more downside price action in the short term. And based on this possibly being a head and shoulders pattern, which I talked more about in my last video, although this isn't a perfect head and shoulders pattern because we don't have a lot of a right shoulder just here. But if there's enough traders out there that actually trade this as a normal head and shoulders pattern, then it can indeed play out as one. And in that case, based on this being a head and shoulders pattern, and obviously it's already broken below the neckline, this line of support, that sets up a technical price target at around 16.1 to 16.2K approximately. And so from the point of the break to the downside to that technical price target, that's a drop in the price of Bitcoin by around 2.5%. And from the current Bitcoin price as of recording this video, that's still a drop of close to 2% to the downside based on this technical price target for this head and shoulders pattern. And now, in order for this technical price target to be invalidated, we would need to see a confirmed break back above this neckline right here, which is sitting at around 16.6 to 16.7K, more specifically around $16,660. But even though a confirmed break back above that level would essentially invalidate this pattern and invalidate this price target, we would still have some strong resistance right here coming into play in between around 16.9K to 17K based on these previous highs back here. Obviously, we've already seen a lot of rejection from these price levels. And as for support levels, once again, as I said on the weekly time frame, we have this retracement level sitting at around 16.3 to 16.4K approximately, which is basically where this low is sitting at. And so we could see a bit of support around there, and we could also find some short-term support at around 16.2K approximately based on this price target and this previous low. But anything below those levels, then we have a more significant range of support down here coming into play at around 15.7K to 15.8K. And now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this right here is the daily ETH to US dollar chart. And right now, as I'm recording this video, the price of ETH is getting very close to potentially breaking back below this golden pocket level of support, because as I've said over the last few days, this golden pocket is coming into play in between around 1180 up to around 1210. And as I'm recording this video, the price of ETH is basically trading right on the lower line of that golden pocket, so on the edge of breaking below it. But technically speaking, because this is on the daily time frame, we need to see at least a daily candle close below 1180 in order to confirm a break back below this golden pocket. And in that case, if that happens, then the next Fibonacci level of support to the downside is sitting at around 1050 to 1060 approximately. But overall, if you're looking at the daily Ethereum price oscillators, these are still looking relatively neutral at the moment on the daily time frame. So we could still see a little bit of choppy sideways price action here. But remember, this is all still occurring within a larger bearish trend, which hasn't technically reversed as of right now. And as for resistance on the daily time frame, we still have some resistance right here at around 1,250, but anything above 1,250, then I would expect resistance at around 1,370, around 1,470, and around 1.6k. And now zooming into the short term, looking at the 2-hour ETH to US dollar chart, right now the price of ETH has already broken to the downside from this symmetrical triangle pattern because this line of support was sitting at around 1,190 approximately, and as I've recorded this video, we've obviously already seen multiple 2-hour candle closes below this line of support. And so technically speaking, based on this break to the downside from this pattern right here, we now have a technical price target at around 1,050 to 1,060, which is right where this previous Fibonacci level of support is sitting at. But as always, it is important to understand that between now and this technical price target, there would of course be other levels of support. For example, this previous low, which if you're looking at the candle closes on the 2-hour time frame, is sitting at around 1.1k, where we could find a bit of short-term support. And this bearish technical price target will invalidate if we see a confirmed break back above this line of support, which should now be acting as new resistance. And this is sitting at around 1190, getting close to 1.2k. And so for the bulls out there, 1.2k is definitely the level to reclaim in the short term in order to avoid the price target being met for this pattern. And now one of the potential reasons as to why we've seen a bit of bearish price action today, especially more so for ETH compared to Bitcoin, is the fact that the FTX hacker has essentially started to sell some of their Ethereum. And in case you don't already know, as of right now, they are still holding over 200,000 ETH, which at the current price is over $230 million worth of ETH. And already, as I've recorded this video, they have already sold tens of millions of dollars worth of ETH, and they've actually bought Bitcoin with that ETH. Because if you look at their on-chain transactions, you can see that they're basically swapping their ETH for wrapped Bitcoin, and then they're essentially redeeming that wrapped Bitcoin for actual Bitcoin, and that actual Bitcoin is arriving in these wallets, which I shared over on my Twitter. So if you want to follow this story in more detail, then check out my Twitter, link in the description and in the pinned comment. And now, if you want to know how to make money in crypto, no matter what direction the price is heading, so whether we're heading in the bearish direction, the bullish direction, or simply chopping around sideways, then make sure to check out these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left of your screen shows you how to make money in crypto if the price is either bearish or bullish, and the video in the bottom left of your screen shows you how to make money in crypto if the price is chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.